the second to the last February real estate market update. Plus, we're going to go over new construction. And we've had a lot of questions about new construction. So we're going to be able to continue and go over all of the different elements and things to consider between a resale and new construction. All right. So I need to, Facebook put a really weird screen up there for me. We'll put it away. All right. Make sure you subscribe. These are market updates that happen every single week. They're free. There's no obligation. Ask your questions. We volleyed probably 30, 40 questions just since last Saturday. And, well, the weather's completely different than last Saturday, even though there's just patches of snow. But anyway, tons and tons of questions still coming in. We get to them probably within about 30 minutes on average, and depending on its complexity. And if I reply back with an answer and say, hey, give me a call if you need more detail, hey, listen, it's not because there's strings attached, not because I'm trying to lure you into my funnel. It's a, hey, there's actually a better conversation we can have and possibly answer your questions better. So feel free to ask. Again, there are no strings attached, okay? We do get a lot of real estate agents that contact us also asking questions, which is great. Again, it allows us all to be, well, better practitioners in real estate. So let's get on. Let's take a look at this month. Then let's roll over. We'll take a look at new construction and how that's faring also. All right. So first of all, month over month and year over year. So month over month, inventory actually has gone up to 6.2% month over month. Year over year, however, we're down 49.1%. Okay, so that's totally normal. Again, when we start to hit the May, June, this number here is going to really take a dramatic drop. So don't be surprised when this number, bam, absolutely starts coming down consistently and start looking more like this number. So new on market, there's a kicker for you, 38.1%. That's awesome. Why? Because we're at two weeks of inventory. We are still super low on inventory. When we pop over here, year over year, we're up 8.1%. Okay, well, that was about right because February didn't have a whole heck of a lot. But month over month, that is a big number because, as you know, we have been just absolutely struggling for inventory. This number, however, matched that number. Well, as expected, right? More homes come on market. There's a massive demand. Naturally, we're going to have more buyers having more product, and so they're going to be able to bring down and put under contract with a seller more homes. Okay, well, that's common sense. Now, so the feedback on that. So last week we talked about the sponge, and I said, you know, we could almost double the amount of inventory pouring water into that sponge because the sponge could absorb it. Right here, that is exactly what we were talking about. So all those sellers that were listening last week, put their home on the market, you benefited because the buyers were there. That pent-up demand was there to take it right back off market. Number of solds are up 8.6%. Okay, last week we were struggling a little bit in the numbers. Not uncommon because remember, solds are always in the rearview mirror. We're always lagging 30 days because once it goes pending, it doesn't go sold right away. There's like a 30-day window of that lag, and that's if it fully closes. Sometimes it go back on market. All right, when we come over here, we take a look at pended. We're up 10.9% year over year. And then, of course, solds are up 15.2%. And this is roughly about 1,300 homes difference month and year over year as far as number of sales. So when we take a look at just King County, there were 626 new homes that came on market, 675 that pended, 532 that sold. The nice thing is the new on market, which is consistent with what we see here, okay, that actually doubled from what we have seen the past few weeks. Normally, the new on market has been a half to 2/3 of what has pended. And typically 2/3, maybe a little bit less than that, to the number that have sold. So this right here, new on market, is a fabulous trend. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind, and let's keep things in perspective. Do not panic, all right? Interest rates go up and down all the time. They bobble up, they bobble down. It depending on what they're doing when you take a look at the bonds and the 10-year treasuries, mortgage-backed securities, right? That is what brings, when the mortgage-backed securities and the bonds increase in value, interest rates come down. They're the exact opposite. But as consumer confidence, market confidence, for the big people out there that move trillions, literally trillions of dollars, billions of dollars around, when they move it back into the market, the bonds and the mortgage-backed security values started to waffle a little bit and interest rates started to hedge back up. Do we expect it to go continually upwards? No. We figure it's going to flatten out a little bit and then it'll come back down, then it'll go back up. It just all depends on what's going on with the economy, the world economy, everything combined. So if you're going to watch something, do not watch the Feds, watch your bonds and watch your 10-year treasuries, okay? Those are the numbers you need to watch. Or just watch this every day. All right, when we talk about mortgage rates, they bopped up to 3%, and that's with a half a point buy down, meaning that if you have a $100,000 house or a $100,000 mortgage, half a point, right? It's going to give you the price of what you need for 3%. Pretty straightforward. Non-owner occupied is about 3.75 to 3.875. It's bobbling in there. Still great interest rates. Do not panic. These are still great rates. They're awesome. All right. Now, let's talk about new construction. So we've had a lot of people asking about new construction. Funny enough, I was chatting with Rick over at Prism, who does a lot of sheetrock painting and whatnot for builders, does it for the homes that we build also. And, you know, we were talking about market trends, where things are going. Hey, how are things balancing out in Seattle versus the East Side? Terry, good to hear from you again, Terry. Terry's talking about, you know, Kirkland and Mercer Island as they're getting ready to do 9 new starts. And what are they going to do? What's the market trending? Where are our price points? Where are we at year over year? What do you anticipate? Well, first of all, thank you for coming and asking those questions. That is always awesome. But we've also had a number of clients that have asked the same question. They say, George, you know, you talk about, you know, residential, you know, all the time, but how is new construction? How is that looking, you know, year over year? So let's go over this. So for sale, month over month, we're down 16.4%. Okay. Year over year, it's almost like the numbers flipped. 61.6% less inventory. Where's my chart? And when I pulled this up, I thought I'd make this really super simple for you guys. And yes, Marie's going to post these in a bigger format. So if you look at this, you can actually see, I do this everything in reverse here, you can see that steady line coming down. So the light green that you see, that's inventory. Dark green, those are sold, right? And as you can see, I can almost put a straight edge. Oh, get that right? I still can't get that right. Anyway, I can put a straight edge, and it's just a slope. It's a ski slope going down as we've been drawing down that inventory. And that basically has been happening, guess what? May, June. So I said our numbers are going to really start to see the other side shift and actually start to balance out. Because we've been pulling down so much new construction and pulling it off and pulling it off. Builders cannot build fast enough, right? But yet still maintain a quality, right? Okay. Cost of construction has gone up quite a bit because labor's gone up, I think I heard 32% year over year. Well, there's a lot of product that's being built. There's a higher demand. Well, supply and demand, right? There you go. All right. New on market. Month over month, we're up 12.6%. However, year over year, we're down 25.4%. When we talk about pended, we're up 7.6% month over month, but we're still down 20.5%. Why? Because our inventory available just keeps dropping and keeps dropping, and there's less homes for the buyers to purchase. Now, again, remember, we're looking in the rearview mirror. So today is February 20th. That means that we had a lot of builders that are your bigger nationwide builders, your Toll, your Pulte, your D.R. Horton, Pacific Ridge is part of that. All of these guys that, have stocks and have shareholders to report to, they offer some incentives to get homes under contract to meet that year-end requirement. Okay, so when we look at that, solds are up 34.3%, not uncommon. Now we take a look at this, we're still up 2.8%. Okay, that is very consistent with what we're seeing, but as these numbers translate, and we'll be able to see these in March, about a week and a half, 10 days, 8 days, we'll be able to see how February truly performed. And then, of course, that comes into January sales. How did January sales truly perform? Because then we will start to see those in part of February. Now, let's delve into it a little bit more. Now, down here, we have what we call the average sales price per square foot. And what that tells us is trending of sales based on square foot costs. We're up 6.3% month over month, 12%, well, 12.7% year over year. Now, average time on market is down 1/3. Okay, that's a given, right? If we have our inventory that's drawing down, down, and down, and down, and there's less homes out there, and there's still a massive pent-up buyer demand, of course. Now, builders are being very structured these days. What that means is they are actually holding back a release so that they can, well, put it out. Their job is to maximize dollars, and they were, believe it or not, getting multiple offers on each one. So they do a very structured release so that they can take highest and best, and that's what works on that element of making sure we have better timelines, we get the highest and best price, maintain plat integrity, which then comes down to, yes, 100%. That means that from the list price to the sales price, they're getting 100 to 101% of list price. And it's based off of prior sales of the plat, time on market with the plat, because every week or every 2 weeks, a builder increases a price because of holding costs for a plat as they go through. So the answer is yes. If you're looking for the best price in a plat, you must buy at the very beginning of the plat, because at the end of the plat, that last home that sold, they're paying more. How much more? As high as 10% more. So there you go. If you're interested in a plat, new plats coming on market, feel free to give us a call. We do work with a lot of builders. We have some of that information. Talk to your agent. Ask them to, to inquire with all the builders, find out what they have going on, what new plats are coming, and does it match the area, style, price that you're looking for. All right. When we talk about here months of inventory, 0.9 months of inventory, not even 1 month. Remember, a healthy market has 4 to 6 months of inventory for a balanced market. We're at 0.9, we're at 0.7 for just overall sales, and that is just not enough inventory. So what are we going to see? We're going to continue to see this trend through the rest of March, April, May, and June. So we're going to see it through the finish of first quarter and second quarter. We're going to see very similar numbers. Rates again, those are going to bobble. That is also going to carry through, I think, the rest of the year. And our inventory, unless we get some massive influx of homes on the market, well, I don't see our inventory level changing year over year. So, one person asked about a forbearance. Okay, to answer the question about the forbearance, the feds did increase, or the president added one more 6-month window of forbearance windows, for forbearance. So normally it was 1 6 month, then you ask to renew, you got a second 6 month, and then now you ask, you can get a third 6 month. The nice thing is that only 1/3 of the folks that's indicated that they might need a forbearance, only 1/3 of them actually did it or have already repaid it. The other third remaining, those are the folks that are going to need some help, but that's across the United States. And so they talk about, hey, there's 2 million people out there. Okay, well, that's across the entire United States. There's 350 million people ish in the United States. So that's a very small number, all things considered. I don't foresee much of a shift. I don't see a gaggle of homes coming on the market because of forbearance issues at all. It would not make sense, right? There's a lot of different options that people can bring into play. If you need help with that, we do have a website that will give you that information. Just let us know. We'll send you there. It is constantly changing, so we don't make it a published page. We have to send you there because we need to make sure it is updated so that you're getting the best information. Anyway, again, my name is George Moorhead. Please subscribe. Hope you enjoy it. Hit the little bell so you're alerted as to when we do these every week. In the meantime, be safe. Have an absolutely fabulous Saturday. Hope you enjoyed the information. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.